These white lines on the road are called dividers. They are used to separate incoming traffic from outgoing traffic.
Similarly, the heart has specific chambers that prevent oxygenated blood from mixing with deoxygenated blood. The heart is a muscular organ which is about the size of our fist. The structure of the heart is not the same in all animals. Fishes have two-chambered hearts that have one ventricle and one atrium. The deoxygenated blood from the ventricle is pumped into the gills, where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. The oxygenated blood then passes to the rest of the body and eventually returns to the atrium. Thus, blood circulates through the heart only once in the cycle. Therefore, this type of circulation is known as single circulation. Fishes are able to extract 80% of the oxygen contained in water passing over their gills. Human beings, on the other hand, can extract only about 25% of oxygen from inhaled air. Amphibians and reptiles have three-chambered hearts with two atria and one ventricle. Blood from the right atrium flows to the lungs, where the exchange of gases occurs. Blood then returns to the left atrium. This oxygenated blood and some deoxygenated blood flows from the atria into the ventricle and passes through to the rest of the body. Eventually, the blood returns to the right atrium of the heart. The disadvantage of a three-chambered heart is that oxygenated blood mixes with deoxygenated blood as there is no mechanism to keep them separated. Although fish have a two-chambered heart, most of the oxygen required by the body is extracted by the gills. All birds and mammals have four-chambered hearts that contain two atria and two ventricles. The atria and ventricles are completely separated so that oxygenated blood does not mix with deoxygenated blood. Since oxygenated blood is segregated, it allows an efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This is useful in warm-blooded animals like birds and mammals who constantly use energy to maintain their body temperature. Blood flows through the heart twice during each cycle in vertebrates like amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. So this type of circulation is known as double circulation. The heart is supplied with valves, which allow blood to flow in only one direction from the auricle to the ventricle. These valves prevent the blood from flowing back. Let's take a look at how the heart works in detail. Deoxygenated blood flows from the body to the right atrium of the heart, which expands to collect blood. The right atrium then contracts, and at the same time, the right ventricle dilates. This transfers blood to the right ventricle. The right ventricle, in turn, contracts and pumps the blood to the lungs for oxygenation. Since ventricles have to pump blood into various organs, their walls are thicker and more muscular than those of the atria. Valves present in the ventricles and atria ensure that blood does not flow backwards during contraction or expansion. Blood is oxygenated in the lungs and is carried back into the left atrium of the heart. The left atrium relaxes when it is collecting the blood from the lungs. It then contracts while the left ventricle expands so that the blood is transferred to it. Now the muscular left ventricle contracts in order to pump blood to all parts of the body. Deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body flows into the right atrium of the heart once again. This is how the heart helps in the circulation of blood.